Hey, everybody. Welcome to the political rant portion of my podcast, Gary Talks 2. I'm Gary. I'm talking. The episode in particular dealt with the media from the 1850s up to today and how they thrive on divisions in our country and don't do much to help them. So this portion is just the political rant, and as usual, and as my want, the rant is going to be about the MAGA Nazi culture of an organization called PragerU for Kids. It surely is not a U of any kind. And they are an immediate threat. I feel that they are an immediate threat to the nation's children, to your children. If you live anywhere in Florida, Oklahoma, or any of the local districts where they are seeking to weasel their way in and indoctrinate children. Now, they say they are indoctrinating the children. You can listen to any of the interviews with Dennis Prager or any of the other wackos over there, and I'll be happy to tell you that they're trying to indoctrinate children. I think the quote Dennis Prager made, well, as long as it's our indoctrination, it's okay. So, yeah, I'm sure Adolf and Benito said exactly the same thing, Chairman Mao and all those folks. So it's not a pretty picture. They characterize it as indoctrination, and I wholeheartedly agree. And I got to be honest, folks, I never thought I would agree with any MAGA Nazi on any subject, but they're completely right. They are indoctrinating our children, and they're teaching them how to think in their very, very two-dimensional, hateful ways, including even hating their parents. And I'll get more into that a little bit. So as you know, I have undertaken a very ugly and painful duty for you, so you don't have to, of watching these videos. They send them to my inbox several times a week, and they are just pathetically simple-minded and full of hatred. I just got one a few days ago, I guess it was, and you can tell by the unifying and loving title of this particular 5-minute indoctrination reel, and it's called How to Keep Your Child from Becoming a Leftist. Ooh, that's pretty bad. And this is from the same upstanding, fine white folks who tell kids that slavery wasn't so bad. I mean, geez, could be worse, could be dead. That you always must honor your parents, no matter how abusive they are to you, physically or emotionally. That's just too bad. The Bible says you got to do it. So in their mind, you have to do it. And anybody who talks about climate science or climate change at all, because the Pragers made their billions fracking. So, yeah, that's their viewpoint. But if anybody else talks about climate science at all, they are branded in their videos as liars, even if it's the parents talking about it. So that's keeping the family together there. They've got other ones. They're so terrified. I mean, absolutely wigged out, terrified of any discussion of transgender community thinking, being. They just go nuts. So they've got one that's called D-Trans, how to save your kid from this fate. Yeah. And another one that's really a crack up is called Protect Our Kids from Transgender Ideology. I say crack up, but really it's full of hateful people spewing garbage, just garbage. And in my humble opinion, these whack doodles are the scarier side of a very dark MAGA Nazi movement because, they seem kind of harmless until you dig in a little bit. But the MAGA Nazis are growing in here in the land of the free. And it's our duty as Americans to monitor them and to make sure they don't take root permanently here, because they're hard to get rid of. Just ask anybody who fought in World War II. They're a real pain in the ass. So earlier in this episode, I urged people to do a little research about the media and provided some sources. Now I'm asking you to just go to the PragerU website and watch a couple of those videos for yourself. You don't have to subscribe. You know, they'll let you look at them and you can see the titles. Usually titles gives you a really good idea where their head and their hearts are, you know, if they had hearts. So please check it out. PragerU for Kids. Oh, and I just got one. It's called, what's it called? Oh, What's Wrong with Marijuana? Yeah, that's pretty funny. Takes me back to the 60s when the narcotics enforcement folks, precursors to the DEA, put out this little movie, black and white movie, which was quite hysterical, called Reefer Madness. I'm sure if you haven't seen it, you probably heard of it. It's hysterically funny, where a kid smokes his first joint, rapes his mother, and jumps out a window. And I confess to have smoked my share of pot. And the only thing I've jumped out of is an airplane, but I've never done that while high, because that'd be stupid. So, and they think everybody but them is really, really stupid. So, if you want to join me here, if you want your opinion read, or if I can figure out how to do it up here side by side, I'd love to hear from you, unless, of course, you are a MAGA Nazi wacko or somebody who worships the orange Jesus. But if you just send me a note, I promise I will read it unedited in its entirety, and I'll either use your name or not, as you wish. I'm very easy to get along with, unless you're a MAGA Nazi, of course. So please go to my website, www.gvbrights.com. You can send it through the contact page there or directly by email to thepodcast@gvbrights.com. And I promise everything's read and responded to one way or the other. And also, while you're on the website, please take a look at a page called Mentoring Kids in Malawi. It has been my honor to serve as a mentor for these kids in Malawi through an organization called It Takes a Village, formerly Village Book Builders. They build libraries all over the world in really remote and needful places like Nepal, Ecuador, Peru, Mexico, and all over Africa and more. So you can read about the work they do. You can see the kids that I work with on Tuesdays, and click that GoFundMe button, because they've pulled the mentors out of my library, so I have nobody to talk to. They haven't had the fundraising they're used to, and they had to shut down one library, and they chose the one in Kadzakaloa, Malawi, even though the library there is the most modern one in the entire country. The poverty there is grinding. If you've never been to Africa, you can't imagine. You may think you've seen poverty in other parts of the world. You haven't. You need to go to Africa and see for yourself. So we bring them a view of the outside world, and it doesn't cost them anything. And when they come on the screen, they're bursting with energy and big smiles, and they just want to soak up everything you have to say to them. We laugh, we read, we talk. I get at least as much out of it as they do. And you can help. Click that GoFundMe button, and those funds will go directly to the library in Kadzakaloa through the site. The other button, ITAV, It Takes a Valley, goes into a general fund, which is also much appreciated. And the other button is for a group called AGE Africa that concentrates strictly on girls and young women who have an 80% dropout rate in Malawi. They are changing thousands of lives a year. They are uplifting the whole society. As everybody knows, when you educate the girls, you raise society up. So give it a glance. And also, if you've got any readers on your list, if you download one of my books for free on Kindle Unlimited, the royalties will also go to help keep the library in Kadzakaloa open, as well as buying a hardcover book. And I've got a new one out called Descent. So you can go to the to the website, www.gvbwrites.com. And there's reviews of all the books, covers, samples, all kinds of stuff. There's some cool airplane pictures because I was a pilot for a very long time. And there's something there for everybody. So please drop by, take a look, say hello, and until the next time, I'm going to ride off into the sunset now and wish you all adios, amigos.